Have you ever wondered why some people achieve extraordinary success while others remain stuck despite having similar talents and opportunities? Or why your big efforts to change your life often fizzle out after a few weeks? The answer might be simpler than you think. According to Darren Hardy, the secret isn't found in dramatic overnight transformations, but in the power of small, consistent actions compounding over time. Just as money grows through compound interest, your habits, both good and bad, create a compounding effect in your life. The daily choice to read just 10 pages, save just $100, or eat just 125 fewer calories seems insignificant in the moment, but over months and years creates dramatic differences. The compound effect reveals how tiny adjustments in your daily routines can transform your health, relationships, and financial future. We're going to explore this animated book summary about harnessing the incredible power of consistency. Before we get into the first idea, wouldn't it be better if you had a platform specially designed for visual learners like you? That's exactly what BookWatch offers. Discover thousands of animated book summaries, just like the one you are currently watching. You can also get personalized advice. Our AI expert is trained to know each book in our library, so you can ask him how to apply every book in your unique life situation. Stay focused by taking notes effortlessly. Press the button and let BookWatch capture key ideas along with their timestamps, so you can review and expand on them later. Not sure what to read next? Just tell our AI what you want to learn or your challenges, and it'll recommend the best books tailored to your needs. Track your journey with gamified progress. Earn streaks and achievements every time you dive into a new book. Click the link in the description to access BookWatch today. If you are enjoying our free content on YouTube, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Now let's continue our video. Idea 1. The compound effect. The core idea of the compound effect is rooted in the principle that small, seemingly insignificant steps can accumulate into significant changes over time. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but as it continues, it gathers more snow and grows larger. In the same way, if you make tiny, positive changes in your life and you keep at it over time, these changes grow into something much bigger and more impactful. Think about improving your health. If you decide to swap out one can of soda for a glass of water every day, it might not seem like much at first. But keep that up for a year, and not only have you reduced your sugar intake significantly, but you've also probably noticed a change in your energy levels, your weight, or even how your clothes fit. It's not just health where this applies. It works with finances, relationships, personal growth, and professional success. For instance, saving a small amount of money regularly might not feel exciting at first. However, over time, with interest and the habit of saving, you build a substantial nest egg. The same idea holds true for negative actions as well. Negative choices might not hurt you immediately, but over time, they can lead to undesired results. This is why being aware of your actions and making conscious choices every day is essential. Small steps might not look like much in the short run, but stick with them, give them time, and they'll compound into transformative results. It's about having faith in the power of incremental growth and being patient, because those tiny, consistent actions are working even if you can't see the results right away. Idea 2. Choices. Every day you're faced with a multitude of decisions. From the moment you wake up to when you go to sleep, your life is essentially a long series of choices. What to eat for breakfast, whether to go for a run or skip it, which task to tackle first at work. All these decisions, big and small, shape your life. It might not seem like the small choices matter much. Choosing a donut today won't make you unhealthy, just like eating a salad won't make you fit, but it's the repeated daily choices that build up over time and have a huge impact on your life. For example, saving a little money each day may feel insignificant in the moment, but over months and years, that amount can grow into a substantial sum. On the flip side, spending a few dollars every day on something like a coffee adds up in the opposite direction. The key takeaway is that your life is a reflection of the choices you've made. If you want to change your life, you have to change your choices. Start by becoming more aware of your daily decisions. Ask yourself, are these choices helping you move toward your goals, or are they holding you back? Once you recognize how important each choice is, you can start to make better ones. And it's not about making a big dramatic leap. It's the small choices that you're consistent with that will compound over time and define your life's path. It's like a path that you... Idea 3. Habits. Habits are the regular practices and routines that you do often without even thinking about them. They can be good or bad, and they play a huge part in determining where your life is going. Developing positive habits can lead you to success, while negative habits can drag you down. Habits start out as individual choices that you repeat until they become automatic. Over time, these repeated actions have a powerful impact on your life because they happen without you needing to decide to do them each time. Since you're no longer actively choosing, it's easy for bad habits to continue if you're not careful. The trick to benefiting from habits is to consciously decide what habits you want to form. Start with small actions. For instance, if you want to get in shape, begin by taking a short walk every day or doing a few minutes of exercise each morning. These small actions might not seem like much at first, but over time, they add up. Your body and mind start to expect and even look forward to these moments. They become part of your routine. It's also important to replace bad habits with good ones. This isn't always easy because old habits are comfortable and familiar, even if they're not good for you. Changing them takes effort. You might slip up sometimes, but that's okay. The key is to keep going, to make your new, better habits as regular as the old ones. Consistency is your best friend when you're trying to build good habits. Doing something beneficial for yourself every single day makes it stronger, like a muscle. Over time, these positive actions become your default way of behaving, and that's when the real magic happens. Remember, habits are powerful because they can create a compounding effect. Each good habit can lead to other good habits, and over time, this can lead to significant improvements in your life. For example, exercising regularly might lead you to drink more water and make healthier food choices. Before you know it, you've built a healthier lifestyle. On the other hand, negative habits can compound too, leading to outcomes you don't want. That's why it's so critical to be aware of your habits and work to shape them in a direction that will help you achieve your goals and live the life you want. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. Changing your habits means changing your life, day by day, action by action. Idea 4. Momentum. The idea of momentum in the compound effect revolves around the understanding that getting started with a new goal or habit is often the hardest part. Once you overcome the initial resistance and start taking action, the steps you take begin to build on each other, much like a snowball rolling down a hill, gathering speed and size. Momentum is like a force that once you build it, it helps carry you forward, making it easier to keep going. Think of trying to push a car. At first, it's really tough to get it moving, but once you get it rolling, it takes a lot less effort to keep it going. When applying this to your life goals or habits, the key is to stick with the small, consistent actions long enough to get this car moving. As you stick with your actions, day in and day out, you start to experience the benefits of this force. Small achievements stack up, making it seem like less effort is needed for each next step. This doesn't mean that you don't have to push anymore, but rather that the push you give leads to greater leaps forward. To help build momentum, you should focus on the initial stages where progress seems slow and requires more effort. By not letting discouragement get the best of you during this phase, you allow the power of compounding and momentum to start working in your favor. Once you have momentum, it will help carry you through potential rough patches, keeping you heading toward your goals. Keeping the momentum going is also about avoiding interruptions. Just like it's hard to start from a standstill, it's also tough to get going again if you've stopped. So consistency is your friend here. It's the steadiness of your efforts that keeps the momentum up, not necessarily the size of the effort at any one time. Finally, remember that momentum can work both ways. Just as it can help you build positive habits and make progress, if you start to make poor choices, it can also speed up the negative consequences. Keeping positive momentum is about choosing actions that move you in the direction you want to go and doing them regularly. Idea 5. Influences. The idea of influences in the compound effect revolves around the understanding that the environment and people around us significantly shape our behaviors and outcomes. The book suggests that you are often affected by subtle elements in your surroundings, even when you're not aware of it. This could mean the media you consume, the conversations you engage in, or the attitudes and habits of those closest to you. Imagine that your daily life is like a garden, and the influences around you are like the weather, soil, and pests. Just as good soil and weather can help a garden thrive, positive influences can help you grow and succeed. Meanwhile, just like poor soil or bad weather can damage a garden, negative influences can hold you back. For instance, if you spend time with people who have goals, work hard, and have good habits, it's like planting yourself in fertile soil with lots of sunlight. You're more likely to bloom. On the other hand, hanging around with friends who waste time and complain could be like trying to grow healthy plants in a patch of rocks. It's a lot harder, and your growth might be stunted. The book suggests taking a close look at your life and identifying the influences that are shaping it. This means being aware of the shows you watch, the websites you visit, and the people you listen to. You should ask yourself whether these influences are helping you grow or if they're toxic to your environment. To make this concept work for you, try to surround yourself with positive influences. This could mean spending more time with supportive people, consuming uplifting and educational media, and creating an environment that encourages your success. By carefully choosing the influences you allow into your life, you start to nurture habits, attitudes, and behaviors that are conducive to the compound effect, leading you toward the success you desire. Just like a gardener who takes care to protect their plants from bad weather and poor soil, you must guard your mindset and actions from negative influences that can derail you from your chosen path. Idea 6. Accountability. Sure, accountability in the context of the compound effect is about taking responsibility for your own life and choices. Imagine having someone, maybe a friend or a coach, who checks in on you to ensure you're doing what you said you'd do to reach your goals. It's like having a workout buddy who texts you to hit the gym at 6 a.m. You're less likely to hit snooze when someone is counting on you. Being accountable means you acknowledge that your actions have a direct impact on your outcomes. When you're accountable, you can't blame others or make excuses for your circumstances. Instead, you look in the mirror, recognize that it's up to you to make the changes you want to see, and hold yourself to your word. The book suggests finding an accountability partner or setting up a system that keeps track of your progress. This partner is there to keep you motivated and on track, not to judge or criticize you. It's about creating an environment where you're regularly reminded of your commitments and you have someone to answer to if you start to slide off course. Accountability partners can provide feedback and help you see things you might not notice yourself. Maybe you're slacking a bit or getting distracted from your end goals. A good partner will point that out and help you correct your course. The key takeaway about accountability is that it's a tool to bridge the gap between your intentions and your actions. By being accountable, you're more likely to follow. Idea 7. Acceleration. Acceleration in the context of the compound effect is about making those small actions more powerful by adding a bit of extra effort after you've established consistency. Think of it like this. When you ride a bike and you start pedaling, at first it's a bit tough and you move slowly. But once you get going, the bike starts to roll more easily. Now, if you pedal just a bit harder, you can speed up much more quickly than when you started. That's acceleration. You're not changing everything, you're just adding a little more energy to what you're already doing. This idea is all based on the fact that tiny tweaks can lead to big changes. You start small, and once you've got the hang of it, you find ways to do those small things even better, faster, or more efficiently. Maybe you wake up just 15 minutes earlier to read or exercise, and once you're used to that, you wake up another 15 minutes earlier. It doesn't seem like much, but over time, you've gained an extra half hour for your goals each day. Acceleration means being willing to push yourself just a little bit more once you've gotten comfortable with your current routine. It's not about massive changes or working to the point of burnout. Instead, it's about smart, strategic increases in effort where you'll get the most benefit. This keeps the momentum going and leads to results showing up faster than they would with simple, consistent action alone. The takeaway is to first get a good system in place, make sure you're doing things right, and then, once you've built confidence and reliability in your habits, turn up the intensity just a notch. It's about using the power of the compound effect to speed up your progress and help you reach your goals sooner. Idea 8. Consistency. The idea of consistency is central to achieving success through the compound effect. It's about doing the small things over and over again. It's not just about making a huge effort once or when you feel motivated. It's about sticking to your actions day after day. This repetition, whether it's working out, saving money, or learning a new skill, adds up over time. Imagine you're trying to get healthier. If you choose to go for a jog just once, you won't see much change. But if you decide to jog for a little bit every day over the months and years, those bits add up to a lot of miles and a big improvement in your health. This is how consistency leads to significant results. It's like water dripping onto a rock. Eventually, the rock will wear away. But it's the constant drip, drip, drip that does the trick, not a flood of water all at once. Staying consistent means you're also building a routine and creating new habits. When an action becomes a habit, it requires less effort to maintain, and that's when the magic of compounding really starts to show. You're no longer fighting to do the task. It becomes a part of what you do every day, like brushing your teeth. When you're consistent, you're also showing commitment to your goal. It's a signal to yourself and others that you're serious about making a change. And with each day, you stick to your plan. You're not just moving a step closer to your goal. You're also building the self-discipline that will help you in all areas of your life. But being consistent isn't always easy. There will be days when you don't feel like sticking to your routine. The key is to keep going anyway. It's not about perfection or never failing. It's about not letting the failures stop you from continuing. Remember, it's not the big leaps that bring the most significant results. It's the small, regular steps. They may seem insignificant on their own, but add them up over time, and they can take you further than you ever imagined. Idea 9. Eliminating bad habits. Eliminating bad habits is all about identifying and changing the behaviors that are holding you back. A bad habit, no matter how small, can have a negative impact on your life over time. Think about it as a trickle of water that eventually wears away at rock, shaping it. Similarly, even a tiny habit can shape your life, but not always in the way you want. Getting rid of these habits starts with awareness. You need to be honest with yourself about the habits that are not serving you well. Once you're aware, you start to track these habits. Tracking is like shining a spotlight on something that's usually done mindlessly. When you see it clearly, you can't ignore it. The next step is understanding what triggers these bad habits. A trigger could be a certain time, emotion, or even another action that sets off your routine of the bad habit. Once you know what kicks off the habit, you can start to interrupt the cycle. Instead of acting out the bad habit, you replace it with a new, positive routine. This takes self-discipline, but it's not about making a monumental change all at once. It's about making small adjustments consistently. Remember, habits didn't form overnight, and they won't disappear that quickly either. It's a process that requires patience. You might have setbacks, but the key is to persist. Over time, these small, consistent changes will stack up, and that's how you'll overcome the bad habits that are dragging you down. Keep at it, and soon you'll find that you've built a new set of positive habits that are compounding in your favor, moving you closer to your goals and a better life. Idea 10. Goal setting. When it comes to goal setting, the idea is to be as clear as possible about what you want to achieve. It starts with defining your goals in a way that you can measure. For example, instead of simply saying you want to lose weight, you would set a goal to lose 10 pounds in 3 months. By doing this, you create a target that is specific and has a deadline. The next step is to break down your main goal into smaller, manageable tasks that you can work on daily or weekly. This helps make the goal less overwhelming and gives you a clear plan of action. If your goal is to save money for a vacation, figure out the total cost and how much you need to save each week to reach your goal by a certain date. It's also important to write your goals down. This act of writing makes them tangible and real. Put them somewhere you can see every day as a reminder of what you're working towards. The book also stresses the importance of understanding why your goals are important to you. Having a strong reason behind your goals keeps you motivated, especially when things get challenging. Your reasons are what will push you to continue when your initial excitement fades away. Lastly, make sure your goals are truly your own. Sometimes we chase goals that are more about what others expect of us or what we think we should be doing. Make sure your goals are aligned with your own values and desires. When goals are personally meaningful, you're more likely to commit to the actions needed to achieve them. Idea 11. Tracking. Tracking is about monitoring your behavior closely to understand which of your habits and actions help you progress towards your goals and which don't. By keeping a detailed record, you become more aware of what you do day to day. It's like using a spotlight to make what's usually invisible, visible. Imagine wanting to lose weight. You might start jotting down everything you eat. This simple act can make you think twice before reaching for a snack, not because someone's judging you, but because you'll have to write it down. Over time, this awareness can lead to better food choices and eating habits. Similarly, if you have financial goals, writing down every cent you spend can reveal surprising patterns. You might notice how those small daily purchases add up and eat into your savings goals. Seeing it on paper can be a powerful motivator to cut out or reduce those little expenses that aren't really adding any value to your life. The idea is that you don't change what you don't measure. Without tracking, it's easy to overestimate the good things we do and underestimate the not so good. Think about it. It's hard to argue with the reality of cold, hard numbers written down in front of you. Tracking can also show your progress, which can boost your motivation. When you look back at where you started and see how far you've come, even if it's just baby steps, it's a pat on the back. It's proof that your efforts are adding up little by little. And it's that progression, that gradual improvement, that can keep you going on the tough days. It turns the invisible into something you can see, and in doing that, gives you real power to make a change. Idea 12. Visualization. Visualization is about creating a clear image in your mind of the success you want to achieve. It's like having a mental blueprint or a map for where you're heading. Picture it as if you are a director of a movie in your mind, where you are the star, achieving your goals. The more detailed your visualization, the better. Imagine not just the end goal, but also the steps you are taking to get there, including the actions, the people you're with, and even the feelings you're experiencing along the way. When you regularly visualize your goals, it's like practicing without physically doing anything. Your brain starts to get accustomed to the idea of success. This process helps keep you motivated and focused because you know what you're working towards. It can also make you more alert to opportunities related to your goals that you might otherwise miss. Think of visualization as a rehearsal. Athletes do this to prepare for a big game or race. They run through the event in their mind, picturing themselves performing at their best. By visualizing regularly, you're training your mind and body to perform the actions that will make your visions a reality. This mental practice reinforces your path and allows you to keep the destination clear in your sight, giving your actions purpose and direction every day. Idea 13. Time management. Sure, let's talk about time management as presented in the book. The idea here is that the way you manage your time can significantly impact the results you achieve in your life. It's like a bank account where everyone gets the same 24 hours each day. How you spend those hours will determine your success. Time management starts with understanding how you're currently spending your time. It's easy to overlook the minutes or hours that slip by unnoticed. The book suggests tracking your activities so you can see where your time is actually going. Just like a budget helps you track where your money goes, a time log can show you where you might be wasting time or not using it as effectively as you could be. Once you know where your time is going, the next step is prioritizing. The key idea is to focus on activities that align with your most crucial goals. It's not just about being busy, but being busy with the right things. Some activities have a higher return on investment when it comes to reaching your goals, so those should get more of your attention and time. Also, the book talks about the importance of saying no. You can't do everything, and trying to will only dilute your effectiveness. By saying no to things that don't serve your bigger picture, you free up more time for those that do. Planning and preparation are also crucial. By setting aside time at the start of your day or week to plan, you make sure that your time is allocated to the most important tasks. This also helps avoid the trap of constantly reacting to the demands of others, which can throw off your own plans. Lastly, the idea of batching similar tasks together can save time. By doing like tasks in one go, you reduce the startup and slow down time that can eat into productivity. Instead of checking email constantly, for example, handling it at set times can be a huge time saver. In this way, managing your time can help you make the most of the compound effect, as small blocks of well-invested time add up to significant progress toward your goals. Idea 14. Discipline. The idea of discipline from the book revolves around the concept that real lasting success comes from the cumulative result of taking small, yet constant actions over time. Discipline is about maintaining a high level of consistency in behavior despite what your feelings or external conditions might suggest. It means sticking to your decided course even when excitement wanes or when the initial burst of motivation disappears. Discipline is not an innate trait that only a select few possess, but a skill that can be developed. It's like a muscle that can be strengthened over time with use. Practicing discipline involves setting clear goals and having an unwavering commitment to achieve them, even when the process is less than thrilling or downright challenging. At the heart of discipline is the daily grind, doing what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. It's choosing the right over the easy, the important over the urgent. It means putting in the work on a project when you would rather relax or hitting the gym when you'd prefer to sleep in. This is where the magic of the compound effect takes place, accumulating the benefits of small decisions and actions that add up over time to produce significant results. Part of understanding discipline is to recognize that immediate rewards are often much smaller when compared to the long-term gains. Skipping that burger for a salad might not feel rewarding in the moment, but over time, these decisions contribute to better health and well-being. To foster discipline, it's helpful to create routines and structures that minimize the need for constant willpower. By setting up your environment to support your goals and removing temptations that lead to distraction, you can make discipline less about sheer willpower and more about following established patterns. Another critical aspect of discipline is the ability to bounce back from setbacks. No path to success is smooth or perfect. Making mistakes or experiencing failure is all part of the journey. Discipline allows you to learn from these situations and continue moving forward instead of allowing them to halt progress. Developing discipline may involve cutting out distractions, saying no to things that don't align with your goals, and being willing to work hard even when the progress isn't immediately visible. It's an investment in your future self and the outcomes you want to achieve. By embracing discipline, you set the stage for the compound effect to work in your favor, resulting in achievements that accumulate and amplify over time. Idea 15. The ripple effect. The ripple effect is an idea that suggests your actions and decisions, even the small ones, can set off a chain of consequences that extend far beyond the initial act. Much like a pebble dropped in calm water creates ripples that travel outward. Your choices can impact more areas of your life and touch the lives of others in ways you might not initially see. Imagine you decide to wake up 30 minutes earlier each day to exercise. This small change is like the pebble. The first ripple might be an increase in your energy levels. The next ripple could be improved focus at work due to better physical health. This could lead to better performance and possibly a promotion. The ripples keep extending. Your improved mood from exercise could make you a more patient friend, partner, or parent. On the other side, if you make negative choices, they too can create ripples. Let's say you start eating fast food more often because it's quick and easy. The first ripple is perhaps a little weight gain. Then maybe that leads to feeling sluggish, which means you're not as productive. Your mood might change for the worse, affecting your relationships and self-esteem. The ripple effect is about acknowledging the power that each of your actions carries and recognizing the broader implications they can have. It's an encouraging reminder that you have more control than you might think. Starting with one small positive change can lead to a cascade of positive effects, gradually improving your life and potentially the lives of those around you. Idea 16. Gratitude. Gratitude in the compound effect is about recognizing and appreciating the value in everything around you. It's the idea of not taking things for granted and being thankful for the large and the small, the highs and the lows. By practicing gratitude, you shift your focus from what's missing in your life to what's present and plentiful. This shift in perspective can significantly affect your mindset and overall well-being. When you make it a habit to look for things to be grateful for, you start to notice more positives. This can lead to a more optimistic view of life, allowing you to remain motivated through tough times and challenges. By seeing the good in your current situation, you cultivate happiness and contentment, which can reduce stress and increase resilience. Gratitude also has a way of attracting more good into your life. It's like a magnet. When you're thankful for your experiences and what you have, it encourages an abundance mindset rather than scarcity. This means you see opportunities instead of obstacles and are more likely to take actions that lead to positive outcomes. Moreover, gratitude can enhance relationships. By showing appreciation for others, you build stronger bonds and foster a supportive circle. This can be important for personal and professional development, as strong relationships often provide a network of resources and support. Incorporating gratitude into your daily routine can be simple. It might involve keeping a gratitude journal where you jot down the things you're thankful for each day. It could also mean telling people in your life how much you appreciate them or silently acknowledging the beauty of a moment. When you practice gratitude consistently, it becomes part of your character. This can make you more attractive to others, creating a positive cycle of goodwill and kindness that not only benefits you, but those around you as well. Gratitude, through its subtle power to change your focus and attitude, aligns nicely with the compound effect. Small acts of thankfulness compound over time, making a significant impact on your life and the lives of those you interact with. Idea 17. Overcoming failure. Overcoming failure involves seeing setbacks not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for learning and growth. It suggests that failure is an integral part of the journey to success and should be expected and planned for rather than feared. When you encounter failure, it's a chance to evaluate what went wrong and why, which can provide valuable insights into what works and what doesn't. It's important not to let failure discourage you or stop you from moving forward. Instead, use it as a tool to gain strength and knowledge. Adopting a positive mindset towards failure can transform perceived stumbling blocks into stepping stones. The idea is to persist through difficulties, as consistent effort over time is what leads to lasting results, those small, incremental steps that may not seem significant individually but cumulatively lead to substantial outcomes. By staying resilient and learning from each setback, you keep the momentum going, and the compound effect continues to work in your favor. Keeping sight of the bigger picture helps to maintain perspective on the journey, knowing that each failure is simply a part of the process that propels you toward your ultimate goals. Idea 18. Patience. Patience is a key theme throughout the message of harnessing the power of incremental improvements. It's about understanding that big changes and rewarding results don't happen overnight. The process is akin to nurturing a plant, which grows from a tiny seed. You water it and provide sunlight, but it still takes time for it to sprout and then slowly grow into a full plant. Like this, the actions you take might seem insignificant day to day, but it's essential to trust in the gradual process of growth. To be patient, you should avoid the temptation of looking for quick fixes or immediate gratification. Success is often the result of steady progress, and that means sticking to your chosen path even when progress seems slow. It's not about the big leaps, but rather about the small, forward steps you take consistently. Patience also means keeping your cool during the less exciting, sometimes mundane day-to-day tasks that are necessary for long-term success. It can be challenging to maintain enthusiasm and motivation when you're not seeing instant results, but having patience helps you remain focused on the larger goal ahead. Imagine your efforts as a penny that doubles every day. Initially, the growth appears negligible. However, if you're patient and allow the effect of compounding to work over time, that penny can turn into a significant sum of money. Understandably, it can be tough to keep going when you don't see the immediate impact of your efforts, but patience is exactly what allows the compound effect to eventually reveal significant gains. Idea 19. Emotional control. Emotional control is about managing your feelings so you can make good decisions and keep taking steps towards your goals, even when things get tough. It's normal for emotions to rise up when you face challenges, but if you let them take over, they can lead to choices that mess up your progress. To stay in control of your emotions, first notice how you're feeling and why. When you're aware of your emotions, you won't be caught off guard by them. Think about your long-term goals and how reacting in the moment might affect them. This way, you make choices based on what's really important, not just because of a strong feeling right then. One tool for keeping a steady emotional state is to have a routine. This can help because when your actions are predictable, you remove some of the ups and downs of daily life. If you get thrown off by something unexpected, instead of panicking, you can fall back on your plan. This helps you stay calm and on track. Another part is to stay away from situations or people that make you feel bad. For example, if watching the news makes you anxious and that anxiety leads to stress eating, try to reduce the time spent on news and find healthier ways to stay informed. Also, don't forget to take care of yourself physically. Things like exercise, enough sleep, and good food help keep your mood stable, which makes it easier to handle whatever comes your way. Lastly, when things go wrong, instead of getting stuck in negative feelings, ask yourself what you can learn. Treat problems as lessons that can help you get better, not as a reason to give up. By keeping your emotions in check, you stay in the driver's seat of your actions, and that's a big part of making the compound effect work for you. Idea 20. Influence of luck. The idea behind influence of luck is that while luck might seem to play a role in success, it isn't something to rely on. Instead, the book suggests that what may appear as luck is often the result of consistent and persistent effort over time. Opportunities might seem to pop up out of nowhere for some individuals, making them look lucky. However, it's often their previous actions and decisions that have set the stage for these opportunities to arise. This section emphasizes that the small, seemingly inconsequential choices and habits one makes on a daily basis are what lead to being at the right place at the right time. By steadily working towards your goals and maintaining a positive course of action, you increase the chances of encountering favorable situations which others may perceive as luck. One key takeaway is that you should focus on what you can control: your behavior, your response to situations, and your determination to keep going even when things get tough. Over time, this can lead to unexpected breaks that could be considered lucky, but in reality, it's the groundwork laid by the compound effect of your choices that brings about these fortunate occurrences. By making a commitment to the process and trusting in the daily, disciplined actions, the book suggests that what some may call luck will come naturally. It's about being prepared for when an opportunity arises, so when it does, you're ready to take full advantage of it. Instead of waiting for luck to strike, the idea is to create your own luck through continuous effort and by applying the principles of the compound effect.